Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to deal with joints in Omniverse. I'm going to teach you how to read the joints and teach you how to drive the joints. Let's take the wind turbine for example. The first thing I would like to do is to make the blades rotate around the tower. First, let's select the prime instead of objects by clicking the button on top left. Then we open the stage view of the object. Locate the object you want to rig. Instead of clicking the mesh, I would like to click the X form for better simulation. Now we can rig the joints. Right click and we create a physics joint and a revolute joint. So now you can see that there's a revolute joint showing that the blades should rotate around X axis. Let's change the axis from X to Y. Next, we right-click this object again and add physics and rigid body with collider preset. And now you can see it has a rigid body and we can simulate the physics of it. And let's click play and see what's happening. Click play and press the left shift on your keyboard and press the left button on the mouse and to drag this object to make it rotate around. And now you can see it is rotating. And next, we would like to drive the joint, meaning that it can rotate by itself. How we can do that? By selecting the revolute joint, we can add a driver to it. Click Add or right click here, Add Physics and Angular Drive. And now here we can change the parameters in the Angular setting to make it rotate by itself. Let's change it into 200 and change the damping into 1000 to see what's going on here. And you can see that there's nothing happening. This may be the wind turbine or the blades are too heavy. We need to change the mass or density of it. So let's go back to the X form of the object and right click, add physics, mass. Scroll down to locate where is the mass and change the mass into a lower value, let's say 1.0 and density into 0.1. And go back to the revolute joint to see what we have. Let's click play and now you can see that it starts rotating. So we can even keyframing it for demo purpose. So let's go to Window, Animation, and open the timeline for it. So to make the animation long enough, let's change the end time into 10,000, and we can slide this button to change the range of the animation you would like to do the keyframe. And on the revolute joint part, let's make it back to 0 in the initial setting. So right click the property and click set key and also set key for damping. And now we have a animation key for it. And let's go to change it into another keyframe. Let's say 100. And let's set the target velocity into 200 and damping into 1000. And right click this property and set key and click damping and set key again. And let's scroll back to the beginning and hit play. And now you can see that the wind turbine gradually starts rotating. And let's hide this part and rig another two things. We can do the same thing for the doors. So let's click the S prime and X form and create physics joint and revolute joint and change the rotation to Z in this case. And next, we have to change the lower and upper limit. So it cannot be rotated counterclockwise, so it's 0, and the upper limit should be 90. And also we have to add physics rigid body with collider to it. And let's see what we have. We can just drag it to make it rotating, or we can add the same thing. We can go to the revolute joint and add physics and angular drive to make it rotate by itself. This time, we would like to change its target position to the final position, which is the upper limit, the 90 degree. And instead of setting up damping, this time we can set the stiffness. Let's say we have 10,000, and we can click play, and you can see that in this time it just closes it to the target position, since we set up the stiffness to keep it around the target position. Let's play it again. And this is revolute joint. And we can add up another prismatic joint for the engine driver to show the visual effect to lift it up. So let's click the add form of it and create physics. And this time we choose the prismatic joint. And prismatic joint, we have to change. We can set up the axis. So we need to lift it up so it is z-axis. So the lower limit is 0. The upper limit we can set it to 5. And we need to add physics rigid body with collider preset to it as well. And this time we can drag it up and drag it up from the linear joints. Okay, and we can also add a linear driver to it by clicking the prismatic joint, add physics and linear drive. And the linear drive, we can the same thing. We can set it back to the target position. Let's say 5, and the stiffness, let me 1,000,000 to it, and to see what's going on. And you can see that it's go back to its position, go back to its target position. And you can see that it is stopped swinging around. We don't like this. This is probably because this object is too heavy. We can also click the object and disable the gravity. And let's see the final results. And here it shows up by itself. And let's let's show all the things in the scene. And here's the final result on the rotating blades, on the rotating door, and the moving generator.